And welcome to Game 2 of a doubleheader tonight. An interesting one. So Ashland boys take on Millis. And before we had Ashland girls versus Westwood, which was interesting to see. I'm Todd Carter.
And I'm Connor Donovan.
And we are bringing you yet another game of action. Our second doubleheader in 2 days.
2 days.
In as many days.
Putting in that work.
Good job getting the ball underneath to Christensen. And Ashland going to come away with it. The shot up, no good. And we have Millis now driving up the court. So that girls game that we watched, that was a fun one to watch.
Absolutely, it was girls versus Westwood.
Yeah, 60-48 was the final score. Ashland comes away with the home W there, which is always good to see. But that score was a little bit deceiving because there were some fouls at the end, and that was Westwood fouling Ashland at the end there. And,
yeah, like we said, it was
Ashland score up a little bit.
It was a good strategy, but didn't really pan out for Westwood in the end because of Ashland's ability at the line.
Yeah, well, they kept fouling possibly Ashland's best shooters at the line. So now driving underneath, shot no good from Jason Christensen. And driving up court is number 20. I think it's Joe Malowitz. And was that him with the shot there?
I believe so. Going to be the first
Oh no,
three.
sorry, that was Dominic Zonfielli. And Millis with the three there. And we're going to have a foul here from Westwood, I believe, on Ryan Daniel. Pass in to Trevor DePerrin. DePerrin driving up court. DePerrin, the pass underneath to Russell, no good. Millis comes away with the ball.
And Russell's been having a heck of a season thus far, hasn't he? He's like, that last game that we saw him in was pretty fantastic. He put up a bunch of threes, but he's also been really good under the net from what we've been seeing.
P.J. Adams almost comes away with it for Millis. I think they're going to end up calling it out on him, which leads to the Jason Arms inbound here. Jason Arms, the inbound.
And there's Russell with that three we were talking about, and he's going to drain it. That's going to be Ashland's first points of the game.
It looks like we might have a foul here from Greg Hardy. Bit of a silly foul there, if it is. And a press here from Ashland as Millis drives up court.
We're pretty used to seeing this press from Ashland, both in the boys and the girls team.
Zonafelli with the ball, passes outside to P.J. Adams, underneath. And who was that? That was number 12, Jackson McCuskey. I'm struggling
you're
with
right.
that name.
Matt Jackson McCuskey, I believe.
Yeah, Jackson McCuskey.
And Ashland looks like they're going to take a timeout here as we're about 2.5 minutes into the first quarter. Ashland 3, Millis 7.
Well, Isaiah Davis here is going to talk to his team, and he doesn't want this game to get out of hand really as quickly as it seems to be. Ashland 3, Millis 7 is the score right now. This game is being played much later on. This was a rescheduled game from December 8th. The reason it was rescheduled was because Millis was unable to play because it was so soon after they had, I don't know if they won or not, but they went to the Super Bowl whatever their Super Bowl is for football.
For football, wow.
And, of course, a lot of these players, you can see it in the height and the size. A lot of these basketball players on this team are also football players for Millis.
Looks like it, as we have number 11, P.J. Adams, inbounding it into Ryan Daniel. Let's see what Ashland has to say about this Millis offense. Some really good passing game we're seeing from Millis.
Drive underneath, and one thing to note: P.J. Adams playing the role of Millis's point guard. He is a big man, and who is that?
Cameron Hardy with three of his own. Ashland showing to be quite the force outside the key, with their only points being scored through threes. Russell and Hardy respectively.
But what I was talking about before was P.J. Adams, number 11 for Millis. He's pretty tall, just about as tall as Cameron Hardy of Ashland. So definitely not a small Millis team.
No, not by any stretch.
Driving underneath, pass outside, no good to Jackson McCuskey. A little bit of miscommunication there. And it's going to be an Ashland ball.
DePerrin driving up, as he is apt to do. Looking for help.
DePerrin
finds it in Christensen.
Calling the plays.
And Christensen, we've seen that so many times where he positions himself under the net, and he's so adept at that layup.
That he is, and Ashland now leads at 8-7. Oh. Was that off the hands of an Ashland defender?
I think so. And number 15 from Millis,
Kurt
Hopkins, going to put up a three that's not going to reach. And there's Russell. Russell inside to Christensen.
Good job by P.J. Adams getting the ball. Driving up, Millis. What's that from behind? Was that Jason Christensen?
I think that was Christensen.
He said, "No way, not today."
Yeah, but I think they're still going to give him the foul. Nonetheless.
I don't think it's on Christensen. I think that may have been on DePerrin. No, that's going to be on Cameron Hardy of Ashland.
Looks like it. And who's that? That's number 20 from Millis.
Dominic Zonfelli. I kind of like that last name.
Yeah, it's very, very Italian.
Very Italian. A little mafia-like, maybe. Can we say that on air? We just did.
Guess so. And here's Zonfelli going to try to go 2 for 2, and he's going to make it. That's going to put him at 7 points for the night.
And here we have number 11, Dylan Feinberg, in for Ashland.
Feinberg had quite the game back on Friday. As that's going to be a quick turnover. DePerrin couldn't keep his hands on it. Russell in a scuffle.
I think that was P.J. Adams on the ground. Good job of keeping that ball alive.
Yeah, Alex Olmstead gonna receive the ball from P.J. Adams. And now Millis is going to really exemplify themselves as a passing team as they throw it around the key. Looking for that open man. Looks like that's going to be out on Ashland. Christensen getting in there and kind of resetting the situation. There's going to be an inbound from Millis. Over to Adams. Shot clock running out at the buzzer. Not going to find the net.
Good look from Nathan Wong. Good awareness. Just unable to make that shot.
Feinberg a little bit high on that shot, that layup.
Pass inside. That's Kurt Hopkins. Doesn't fall for him.
Russell tenacious under the net. Getting
Dylan
that D.
Feinberg. Good.
I don't know. He kind of ran the shoulder into him. I don't know if they're going to call on that.
Yeah, they might call an offensive foul on Feinberg.
Hey, it looks like they do.
Oh, no.
No, it looks like number 11 of the other team, P.J. Adams, is going to get his first foul of the night. Feinberg's going to miss his first.
This is something to worry about a little bit here. Ashland hasn't done too well from oh my gosh, look at this deep pass here. Fast break, Wong.
And that's going to be a foul on Wong from Feinberg, I think.
Yeah, from
Feinberg looks like he's playing a little too aggressively. I think.
Yeah. Good job of Nathan Wong drawing that foul, though, as he goes to the line.
Yeah, we saw the passing game. Wong keeping himself wide open for that layup.
Score is tied right here. Nathan Wong with a chance to give Millis the lead.
Pretty aggressive play from both sides, I would say. Millis with the hyper aggressive pass game, but Ashland answering right back with their fouls. They're playing aggressive from a physical standpoint.
I would say so. And right now, the one nice thing to note is about even on the fouls. 2 for Ashland, 3 for Millis.
Feinberg going to get the ball slapped out of his hands. And I just noticed that we see Kevin Rabideau in. We don't normally see Kevin Rabideau.
Yeah, we don't typically see him a lot, but great player. His brother was a great player as well. And it looks like that's going to be out of the hands. I couldn't tell if that was off of a Ashland or a Millis pass.
But either way, it looks like P.J. Adams going to take it, as he's been doing all game. And Andrew Brooks over to Wong.
Wong underneath. That was a good look.
Yeah.
Just unable to fall there.
Seems that this Millis team on offense is really good at making those cuts and getting those looks. There's Feinberg from deep. He's going to drain it. And there's 3 for Ashland.
Feinberg with the deep 3. You can see that a lot from him. We've seen his brother do that before as well. Again, his brother on the 1,000-point scoring board.
And there's looks like P.J. Adams drawing the foul. And he's going to go to the line here.
P.J. Adams has been stellar all night for Millis.
I would say so. He seems, I'd be surprised if he's not a captain, because he's definitely an offensive force to be reckoned with. Even though he hasn't really put up any of the points thus far, he's certainly
He's got to have 2 or 3 assists already, though.
No, absolutely. He's really good at finding his players, seeing the cuts as they come.
Deep ball meant for Christensen is tipped away. That was a little antsy of a look for my taste. Sometimes you look at that deep pass and you get so excited, but you don't see that a player is right in the vicinity just baiting you.
Oh, Rabideau looking too hard for DeParent, but DeParent had 2 guys on him. I don't know if that was a good look.
DeParent ends up on the ground, as well as I believe that's P.J. Adams, as P.J. Adams steps out of the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're running a stack right now. It looks like they're putting a bunch of guys on DeParent, recognizing that DeParent is probably the quickest guy on this Ashland team.
And that's definitely who Ashland wants to get the ball to as well, as he runs that offense.
Yeah, Rabideau looking for someone. Russell, ball tipped, but he still manages to come out with it. Russell probably looking for DeParent, but DeParent actually going to run the pick. To Rabideau, back to Russell, to Christensen. Christensen couldn't find that jump. Jumper, yeah. It looks like Wong's going to inbound it from Millis. And like I said, quite an aggressive game on both sides. Looks like Brian Latosic is going to come in the game.
Wong, I think he's going to be fouled there.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing from Ashland is they're trying to recreate this Millis pass game within themselves, but I don't know if that's the way they're gonna go with it. I think leading with DeParent, having DeParent push down the court is definitely the way you want to go. Because I don't know, this Millis team is pretty crazy with their passing game.
Wow, and number 4, Thomas Fallon almost did what we saw in the last game as well, and that was put it up behind his back after he was fouled, trying to get that shot off so he can get the and one. And it came pretty close.
Absolutely, yeah. And now Fallon is going to go to the line here. And he's going to drain his first one.
That'll put Millis in the lead as well. Millis up 13-12 over Ashland.
Yeah. Fallon taking his second. Oh, is that Thomas Morrison?
Yeah, Thomas Morrison driving down court. Nathan Wong trying to slow him up. May have caused a little foul there.
Yeah, tripped him a little bit. So, Todd, I'm noticing that a lot of the starters aren't in. We have people like Kevin Rabideau and Thomas Morrison, who are absolutely adept players in their own right, but we're not seeing that much from Cameron Hardy. Looks like he's coming in and out of the game. Jason Arms isn't in right now. A lot of the starters, they seem to be, and it looks like Feinberg is going to get another foul called on him. And yeah, we have Feinberg, looks like Feinberg over, oh no, we have Christensen in there as well. But a lot of the starters, they're not really sticking with. Do you think there's any reason for that?
Well, for Cameron Hardy, I have to tell you, that could be because of the potential for foul trouble. Hardy already with 2 fouls in the first quarter alone, so they want to nix that right there.
Yeah.
And save those fouls potentially for later in the game. Although it looks like he's going to come in now. But also you're talking about putting in your second line, giving your players some rest, because it looks like Millis is doing the exact same thing, taking some of their starters out. We saw P.J. Adams come out before.
Yeah, and it looks like Feinberg is going to travel or something there, but either way, Millis is going to get the ball back into number 15 from Millis, Kurt Hopkins.
The refs are not too happy with these two teams right now. It looks like there's some fouls going around from either side.
Yeah,
and,
as we're
refs are trying to take this game and get it under control quick.
Yeah.
They don't want to see a dirty game.
Christensen finds Hardy. Hardy going to drive. That was clean D from Millis. Christensen not going to get the rebound, unfortunately. So that's going to be up to number 2, Andrew Brooks.
Deep 3. Doesn't sink. Feinberg with the rebound.
I was going to say that was a good rebound from Feinberg. Good awareness to know that ball was not going to touch the rim.
I think he has 3 so far as well, as Hardy takes a 3. Doesn't sink. And Millis comes away with the ball.
Ooh, that's a deep 3. Not going to find it. So you got 4 seconds left here.
Yeah, these teams seem to be trading
Feinberg.
threes. Woo, that was close. I was hoping to see a half quarter there.
Yeah, that was dangerously close if you're Millis.
So Millis obviously seeing at this point to definitely keep some eyes on Feinberg. And for Ashland, I think they need to keep an eye on Millis's number 11, P.J. Adams. As we have some top scorers so far. I think it's pretty spread out.
It is.
Scoring-wise for both teams, although I think Zonfelli might be Millis's top scorer.
Zonfelli, you are absolutely correct. Zonfelli came out the gate and he put up 5 points in basically the first minute. He drained a 3 and then got quite the interception and then drained a 2. And then he continued. He went to the line and he's 2 for 2 on the night. So that's 7 points for Zonfelli, excuse me. But yeah, we have a pretty wide point distribution between the teams. Top scorer for Ashland thus far is Feinberg with 3 points. Actually, no, 4 points, excuse me.
Yeah, we have 4 for him, and then we have 3 for Hardy, and I believe 3 for Russell. So, again, an exciting night here. And Ashland down 12-14. Millis, a stellar team. Definitely look for that athleticism because they play 2 kinds of ball. They play football and basketball.
Yeah, definitely.
For a lot of them.
And Hardy going to get the foul there. He's going to go to the line. Hardy with quite the drive, trying to get through 2 Millis defenders. One of them put his hands up, but the other one looks like he fouled him.
Well, it looks like it's going to be on number 12, Jackson McCuskey. I am sorry for butchering that name, too. That's
Mikowski?
Mikowski? Wow, great inbound to P.J. Adams. The look outside. Pass in.
Oh, that's great from Christensen. That was quite the rebound.
That was a laser inbound pass. I did not see who was inbounding it to P.J. Adams, but P.J. Adams caught an absolute bullet.
Ooh. Brian Lasatek is going to go up for the layup, but I think he's going to get fouled in the process.
I think that might end up being on Christensen. No, they're going to call it on Hardy.
Yeah, that's his third. Both teams with 6 fouls thus far. And as you were saying, these refs not really having it. They're trying to keep this game under control.
Yeah, they're taking it under control for sure. Some exciting news on the day. Playoff football began.
Absolutely, wild card games.
Well, yeah, the wild card round. Last night, so today is Sunday, January. Let's pull this up. I can't remember the date to save my life, but it's Sunday, January 7th.
Oh, DeParron with a laser-focused inbound to Christensen. Christensen's going to put it in. That's his 4th of the night.
But again, this game being played on Sunday, January 7th. We saw 2 games last night. The Titans beating the Chiefs in a thriller. The Falcons beat the Rams in a thriller. And both teams hoping to win in this thriller so far.
Absolutely. Lasatek wide open, and he's going to take a 3 and drain it for himself.
But earlier today, so those games I told you about were yesterday. Jaguars won 10-3 today, and the Saints and Panthers are currently playing at this time. Saints are up 21-12 over the Panthers. And at this point in our game, Millis is up over Ashland 17-16. In a much tighter game, I would say.
Yeah. And Ashland going to inbound it there. It looks like Feinberg's going to take it. Rare that we don't see DeParron taking it.
Feinberg, a nice no-look pass outside. And he's going to come away with the and one.
Looks like some Millis players not happy with that one.
I'd like to say thank you to all our crew tonight as well.
Oh, absolutely.
We have Miles Garnett and Cameron Tabo on camera right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Mackie Kotab sitting right next to us on the switcher.
Yeah, and of course, I'm Connor Donovan with my amazing co-caster Todd Carter here. Feinberg's going to put that one up. Feinberg is now, 2 for 3 on the night with 5 points.
Pass outside, P.J. Adams. He's having himself a night. He has an open 3. Doesn't land.
Adams to Lasatek. And around, that's an open 3 right there. Ashland's got to stop giving Millis these threes because they've shown that they're just as adept as Ashland is at sinking them.
Ashland with a at least a temporary lead right now. Ashland 19, Millis 17, but or the lead has changed quite a bit in this game.
Right, this game is being played on a tightrope. It's one of my favorite commentators likes to say, on a tightrope.
You know what my favorite announcer says?
What?
Mr. Bob Thacker always says, with a cast of thousands.
With a cast of thousands. That's a pretty legendary quote.
A cast of thousands bringing you this game.
Oh, true. Looks like Adams going to take it. And we see Jason Arms back in the game. And at least in the time I've been here, we see a cut around. at least in the time I've been here, we haven't really seen a stellar Jason Arms performance. So I'm really waiting with bated breath to see that day.
He seems to do well on defense, but scoring, not as much. He seems to be much more of a sit back, run the offense kind of guy.
Yeah. But I'm sure, given the opportunity, he can shock us all.
Yeah.
Jason Christensen, certainly a shocker in his own right, comes in.
Funny enough for Jason Arms. That was just a phenomenal shot there from Millis. Number 35, I believe.
Or 55?
55. Tim Smith. Pass in from Nathan Wong.
Over to Lassetek. Over to Adams. This press, I don't know if
I'm not a huge fan. Ashland seems to get drawn too much to its defenders, and who was that? Was that Wong?
That was Wong, number 32.
Don't leave him open. Whoa! Who was that? PJ Adams getting over there? PJ Adams putting in work. He managed to make it over, intercept the pass. He was going out of bounds, bounces it off the leg. I believe it was off of Dylan Feinberg. Couldn't tell if it was off of Feinberg or Christensen. PJ Adams with the nice spin move there as well.
Yeah, PJ Adams
He's
definitely
showing off his athleticism tonight.
An offensive force. So he's going to try to take a jumper for himself, and he drains it. That's 4 on the night for him. It looks like Russell's back in the game. Let's see if Russell can put up some points. Looks for Feinberg, finds him. Feinberg going to try to take this lane for himself and draws the foul.
Good job. You know what he did too on that drive is he faked it as if he was going to pass outside, kind of drew a Millis defender out there, and then
took it.
Yeah, takes it right back in, and drew that foul.
Feinberg now 2 for 4 on the night at the line. He's gone to the line quite a bit.
Well, I think Coach Isaiah Davis is expanding his role a little bit, especially after the night he had about 2 nights ago for the Friday doubleheader.
Yeah, that was amazing ball control from Christensen. Had about 3 Millis defenders on him and still managed to get the ball off to Rabidou. Rabidou into DePerrin, and DePerrin's going to put it up for 2. And that's going to be a timeout from Millis, I assume. And I haven't even really been keeping an eye on the score, but it's just been very back and forth. And Millis took back the lead, as we were saying.
Yes, they did. And, yeah, Millis up 24, Ashland 21. Ashland's going to end up taking that foul. And both of these teams are now in 1-1 territory when it comes to fouls. So something to watch as the first half winds down here during this timeout.
And despite his amazing out-of-the-gate performance, we haven't really seen much from Dominic Zonfelli since those points that he put up, those 7 points, to kind of lead the game off.
But it doesn't seem to be affecting Millis much as they hold a narrow lead.
True.
But definitely a weapon to use potentially later in the game. I don't know how many fouls he has on the night, but again, something to watch later on in the game as we see Wong getting ready to inbound here. So Connor Donovan and Todd Carter bringing you the second doubleheader in the past 2 days.
True.
For us.
And the second game of this doubleheader, Ashland varsity boys versus Millis. Oh, Wong wanted it. Wong wanted that three. Oh, but that's a stuff from Christensen, and Rabideau's going to come back with the rebound.
Looked like he might have gotten stuffed by the backboard a little bit there, too.
Yeah.
Coming on that side.
Russell tries to go for three. Wong's going to get that rebound. Adams with that jumper. I'm surprised he didn't hit it, to be honest. Adams has been quite fierce. Number 11 on Millis. He's been quite fierce with that mid-key jump ball.
3.5 minutes separate Ashland and Millis from the halftime break, and 3 points separates Ashland and Millis, as Millis has the slight edge over Ashland, but
yeah.
one shot could change that.
Absolutely, 1-3 from Russell, or from Cameron Hardy, as we've seen. But I don't know.
One shot from Millis can also extend it and make it a little bit harder for Ashland here, as Millis goes up by 6. And who is that? Number 3 in the game? We don't see much of number 3 for Ashland.
Number 3 on Ashland's side?
Yeah, Kevin Rabideau.
He's been in and out all night, and he hasn't really put up any points, but he's certainly been good on the inbound side.
Looking at potentially an expanded role here.
Definitely.
For sure. We're looking at a 1-and-1 here, I believe.
For Christensen. This is Christensen's first time at the line tonight.
Yep, 1-and-1 here. Christensen's going to nail his first, meaning he gets a second opportunity here.
You really want Christensen to nail the second one here, putting it within a 4-point game, as we're kind of nearing the end of the half.
He doesn't nail it. Millis gets the ball back. Trevor tried to get his hands up. Some good defense there.
Oh, that's an amazing rebound and a pass out from Millis. Back to Adams. Oh.
Who's that number? 22. Alex Olmstead with the and one here, with the potential to put his team up by 8, which I believe that would be the largest lead of the night if he makes it. Doesn't fall for him. Rabideau ends up coming up with the rebound, and the pass goes over the head of Cameron Hardy. And Cameron Hardy, he's going to foul out of this game quick, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it. Which
4
is
fouls.
Not a look you want to see if you're Ashland. Hardy's been having a good game thus far. Oh. Is that number 5? Lasatek. He's been having a good first half.
Hardy.
Yeah, this Millis passing game has been something of a burden to this Ashland team. They can set up their press all they want, but Millis' passing game has just been too strong, and it gets right by him like that. Adams looking for help. I don't know what they're going to call there. Oh, push on DePerrin.
That'll be his first foul, though, so
yeah,
not much to worry about there.
Oh, but just the same, there is something to worry about as Adams steps up to the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't need to worry about Trevor DePerrin going into foul trouble, but you do need to worry about P.J. Adams going to the line. He'll nail his first. And up comes my favorite shot. Potentially my favorite camera angle here for Ashland.
No, that's Adams 4 for 4 at the line. That's impressive. As looks like Thomas Morrison back in the game. Out to DePerrin to Rabideau, back to DePerrin. Oh, and Jason Arms. We're seeing quite the rotation. Oh, DePerrin going to take 3. Oh, I thought that was good.
He comes away with the rebound, though.
Yeah, as you were saying about Russell a few times, Russell is very known to follow his shots, and looks like DePerrin just did the same there, which is really important when shooting a 3. Instead of just kind of standing there and wait to see if it goes in or not, doing the Steph Curry.
Thanks for mentioning that, because I was about to say the same thing. These players aren't stepping back and looking at it like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Granted, Steph Curry might have a better ability, so he kind of can.
He deserves it.
But you know what? It's not good sportsmanship, and it's not. That's one of those things. You want to follow your shot.
And that's a 2 from Christensen and a 2 from WACA-TV here. That was quite the pass.
Rabideau with a good pass of his own to Perrin. Looks like we might have a foul here on Kurt Hopkins.
That was quite a pass, quite an inbound for Millis. Just as soon as Ashland drained that, as soon as Christensen drained that, they didn't even give Ashland time to set up. They just hurled it right back down to the court to WACA-TV, and he puts it in for 2. But as I say that, to Perrin, the number 5 on Ashland versus the number 5 on Millis, WACA-TV. They're having kind of a battle of points here.
To Perrin. He'll go for his second shot here. Hit that first one. And he'll nail his second one.
Yeah, he's going to have 4 points on the night, and now Ashland down 9 with 1 minute left in the half. There's Wong. Back to Adams.
PJ Adams has had a game tonight, too.
Yeah, true.
He has shown off his athleticism.
He's one of those players where it's just, he may not put up the biggest amount of points of the team, might not be top scorer, but you can't deny his influence on this game.
Well, you just saw that pass down low. I think it was to number 12, Jackson Mikowski. Just a phenomenal a pass around the back of an Ashland defender.
Morrison into Christensen. Ooh, looks like Christensen gonna draw a foul? Offensive foul, maybe? Oh, no, looks like Christensen's gonna go to the line. I thought I saw him drop the shoulder a little bit, but.
Looks like they're gonna call that on Jackson Mikowski. And Christensen has been pretty good from the line tonight.
That's right, he's 2 for 3.
Fourth shot from the foul line tonight coming up. It's up, doesn't sink. Still, I'll take 50% from the line.
Yeah. Certainly better than what we were seeing from these Ashland boys in the previous game against Bellingham, where those free throws kind of made or broke the game at the end of it.
Or even before, I can't remember who we last Tuesday.
Norton.
We played Norton. Norton was sadly, I would call it an abysmal game from the line for Ashland.
Yeah.
That was one of those difference makers.
DePerrin trying to take it himself. Ooh, got a little bit ahead of himself and couldn't drain it. Thomas Morrison going to get a good D as time expires, and Ashland going to finish off with 27 to Millis's 35 as we're going to head to the half. What do you think Ashland's taking into the locker room today, Todd?
I think for right now, Ashland's going to go into the locker room, talk a little bit about playing their game, not playing Millis's game.
I think that's a good point.
You know, they wanna play their game, want to find their own groove, and not keep playing to Millis's style. And I think Millis, if you're Millis, you're going into the locker room and you're saying, hey, we need to improve on this.
Yeah.
What we found in the second quarter, and especially at the end of that second quarter, it's working for us.
It is.
So let's expand on that. Let's keep doing. Keep playing that game.
Yeah, Ashland has kind of been shook by the passing game for Millis. So Millis needs to go into the locker room and say, hey, I need more cuts. I need more direct, laser-focused inbounds and passes like we've been doing. And I think that's going to guarantee them the game.
Yeah. With that, we will be back in just 2 minutes here.
All righty.
All right. Bye.
we're back for the second half of Ashland versus Millis basketball. Boys varsity here at the Ashland High School Gymnasium. It's 27 Ashland, 35 Millis. After an exciting first half, we're back, and we're going to see if Ashland has an answer to this pretty astounding Millis offense.
I would have to agree, and that offense, of course, led by the infamous P.J. Adams. You've heard his name all this broadcast.
And that was probably the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen as an Ashland fan. Trevor DeParron, such a phenomenal player, but his size totally being exploited by this pretty tall Millis team.
I was going to say, this is a tall team.
Yeah. And Trevor DeParron, an amazing player in his own right, but he went up for that layup and just got stuffed.
No foul.
No, I hate you hate to see it, but that was all ball.
That was all ball for sure.
But DeParron bouncing back here. Let's see what he can do. As he throws in to I can't see the number there, but that might be Rabidou. We've seen Rabidou quite a bit this game, and Russell's going to take a three to reset the shot clock, but not going to find the net.
I think they're going to call a foul on Trevor DeParron.
That'll be his second of the game.
And we get another Millis inbound.
Right, Lastatech and Adams. I'd call them the dynamic duo of Millis this game.
I would have to agree.
We have Lastatech putting up a ton of points, and Adams just with that amazing offensive mind of his, really able to survey the situation and pick the right call. His arm's going to take a three.
Really a selfless player.
I would totally agree.
He'd rather get the assist than the points for himself, even though he's shown that he can do that.
Yeah. Oh, doesn't look like Ashland's very happy with that call, as DeParron's going to get his third foul.
Yeah, and that's 2 fouls within the first minute and a half of this quarter. That's
a rough look for DeParron. And if there's one thing we know about DeParron, he doesn't like having fouls called on him when he thinks they were kind of dishonest.
I don't know if you just caught that, but DeParron, as P.J. Adams looked to inbound it, DeParron completely unfazed. Adams tried to do that over-the-head look, and he was not having it.
Yeah,
DeParron was just not having it.
DeParron hit him with the mean mug, as we like to say.
Yeah.
Clearly not happy about those previous 2 calls. Or at least the last one, that's for sure.
I know I got a chuckle out of looking at that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Just going to have the number 3 from Ashland, Kevin Rabidou, inbounding it.
Rabidou, something I noticed is it looks like he took his undershirt off.
I was about to say, yeah, I couldn't recognize him. I was like, is that number 3? Is that Rabidou? Because he had his undershirt on in the first half. That's how you know it's serious.
Yeah. Well, it's a cold one outside today, but obviously we are not playing outside here at Ashland High School.
Arms trying to put it up for a 2. Couldn't find it, but Christensen going to get the rebound and then is promptly fouled, and he's going to go to the line. Christensen has been pretty okay. He's been 2 for 4 on the night.
As I said before, I'll take 50% from the line as compared to that game against Norton.
Let's see if Ashland can rally a little bit here, because Millis has certainly provided a very stable offense, very hard to counter offense. But I think that if Ashland could do it, they're only 2 threes away from tying this game up. And this has certainly been a back-and-forth game played on a tightrope.
Yeah, I could not tell you how many times this lead has changed.
Yeah, Millis just kind of sprang ahead at the end of that first half. But it could just as easily go Ashland's way, as Arms is looking to inbound this. Yeah. Probably looking for DeParron to cut out, and he does find him.
DeParron making it through 2 Millis defenders.
Woo! Okay, that was, I don't know. That you have your things that really do it for you in basketball, but plays like that really do it for me, where you have very cleanly executed offensive passes back and forth. And you had
I like the lasers.
Yeah, DePerrin to Russell, or no, Rabidou, excuse me. And then Rabidou under the legs of a Millis defender into Russell, but Russell unfortunately could not finish and get that layup. But that's the kind of stuff that I like to see from Ashland.
Yeah, and I think, is that Dominic Zinfelli with the foul there, I believe?
Yeah, Zonfelli. We haven't really seen much of him since his first explosive start to the game.
Looks like they might start using him more. Again, maybe try and expand that lead that they had, but
definitely, he's just kind of the reserve player. They're the player that they kind of keep waiting in the shadows until they really need him. And as Ashland's starting to mount some traction here, I think this Millis coach is probably saying, yeah, we need him.
Yeah, especially right now.
Yeah.
Definitely good to come out attacking.
Definitely.
Instead of playing on your heels.
Because it's very easy for a team like Ashland to come out of the locker room, them being down, or just in general a team being down, coming out of the locker room with a bunch of momentum. They're all fired up, and nothing stifles that momentum by just like stopping them in their tracks. Nothing can really kill a game for another team by just they come out of the locker room ready to go, and they're met with just this impenetrable offense.
I was gonna say you definitely. Sometimes you think that this team is going to come out and they're going to play a more conservative, defensive-based game. Millis saying, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to attack you right now.
We are sticking to our guns. It's been working for us, and we're going to keep it going. But as we say that, Russell puts up 2 points, and that's going to be 5 points for him for the night. As this Millis offender is going to take a 3.
He got robbed a little bit there. That went in and out of the rim. So
Alex Olmstead, who has a couple points tonight. Certainly a good offensive player. And you're right, he was a little bit robbed.
Well, it fluttered around the rim and just didn't sink for him.
Oh. Did you see P.J. Adams was poaching that? He was waiting for that pass. He had that pass telegraphed. He said, I know exactly where you're going to throw it.
He knew that it was going there before the Ashland defender knew it was going there.
Takes that clean interception, but unfortunately can't find his teammate as he looks for help. It looks like Jason Arms going to inbound it here.
And Jason Arms, we haven't seen much scoring from him, but again, tremendous on defense and great passing it around the key and to some other Ashland players here as he gets it down low.
See that from Dylan Feinberg? That was cute. We saw another one of those no-look passes, and this one was behind the back. Dylan Feinberg in, and whenever Dylan Feinberg is in, he seems to make a statement of his own as he's going to throw behind the back to, I believe that was DePerrin, and DePerrin's going to yoss that over to Christensen, and Christensen's going to put it up for 2.
Well, we were talking a little bit here about Jason Arms. Jason Arms being a starter and everything. You think Dylan Feinberg might not be a fan of that? Think he might be after a starting job?
I don't want to speak on his behalf because I think it's good to have.
I don't want to say he's going for somebody specific, their job, but I'm saying think he might have a fire in his belly.
I don't know.
Not being a starter?
I don't know about that. I think he respects Isaiah Davis's choice there because I think it's good to have a clean balance between low-key starters and fiery people you can bring in off the bench like Feinberg.
Well, and that's true. You definitely want scorers off the bench. That can be a difference maker in a game.
Yeah, because you have somebody like Arms who's really easy to swap out with a guy like Feinberg. And I think having 2 players that are easily swap-outable is really important.
I would have to agree.
Because you can have somebody who's not a big scorer as a starter, but they can still make a world of difference on defense or what have you. As Rabidou's going to try to find Christensen there, and the pass doesn't really connect.
Ashland down 33 to Millis' 37 points. But a good game by both teams, and it's been showing how close of a game this has been tonight.
Definitely. Ashland has done its best to close the gap. I would say they've mostly succeeded.
I think we had a Millis offender pushing off the back of Christensen. It was number 22, I believe, Alex Olmstead. Yep, they're going to call him on that foul. The push. Jason Arms freaking out a little bit there on that inbound pass. Finally finds somebody.
Dylan Feinberg, what's it going to be here? Ooh, Christensen trying to set up for the pick. Feinberg tries to find Russell, but a little bit of an overthrow. Like I said, looked like they're trying to play Millis at their own game, as you said before they went in. In the first quarter they did it, and it looks like they're doing it now. They're trying to play this passing game that Millis is trying to do. Just like you said, beat them at their own game, but I don't think that's the solution here. I think Ashland's just got to stick to their guns. Whoa!
PJ Adams with the foul, and Dylan Feinberg coming over to talk to him. If I were Coach Davis, I'd say back off now. Adams is very obviously angry.
That was a pretty heated exchange.
I think there was a little bit of a flop in there too. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, you might as well.
And that's gonna be.
Are they calling that on number 2, Andrew Brooks? Oh yeah, I think so. I think PJ Adams caused the foul, but Brooks might have been the one to take a swing or push. I don't know what happened exactly in that exchange. Happened a little too fast.
Yeah, that was. I'm a little bit shook. I'm not gonna lie.
But
that was the most tense we've seen an exchange in quite a while.
Yeah, well, Ashland.
And it's only the third quarter.
Ashland gets the technical, and so they score 2. That'll be a Dylan Feinberg 3, and they're back in this thing.
Absolutely.
Tied at 37.
They're answering back. And Dylan Feinberg saying, with his play and in person, he says, listen, I'm not going to have you hurting my teammate. And he's going to answer back with a 3 of his own. And that's going to tie this game up.
And that's the last thing you want. The last thing you want to do is get a team fired up.
Yeah,
especially this Ashland team. They are now fired up, and you're seeing the consequences of that.
Yeah. But like we said, this game being played on a tightrope. It's tied now. This lead's been shifting back and forth all game. And is that going to be an Ashland timeout? No, Millis timeout. I want to talk about shook. That was a pretty shook timeout. Well, I'm trying, with all due respect to both teams, that was a pretty shaky Millis timeout, trying to kill Ashland's momentum here.
Yeah.
Ashland puts up 6 or 7 unanswered points.
Well, and one of the things that is so overlooked, especially when you get a technical, first of all, it's your first technical. If you get a second one, you're out for 2 games, I believe. I think I said that once before.
Yeah.
But so that's one thing. But second of all, you get 2 shots at the foul line. When you take your 2 shots, you have nobody around you.
Right.
Everybody stays at half court. Then, not only you get to shoot those 2 foul shots, you get possession of the ball right afterwards.
Right.
And that's what happened to Ashland there. So if you are the one to cause a technical, it's not a good look for you, because you just gave the other team 2 foul shots and possession right after that. Millis, I think, taking a time out there and also trying to set up some plays.
Ooh, here's that pass game from Millis that we've been seeing. But Feinberg not having it, getting right in the way of those 2 Millis defenders. And Feinberg with a little bit of an overthrow there. That's going to be his second or third overthrow of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's his second overthrow of the game. He overthrew Russell the first time. This time it looks like Rabidou. And
if you're Isaiah Davis, you got to respect Feinberg's hustle. But you also got to wonder what the leash is if he keeps making plays like that.
I would have to agree, and definitely need to watch out there, because that's your second overthrow. good to lead your teammates, but
that's Tim Smith, number 55, with a 3.
That was a beautiful 3 too.
Yeah.
Tim Smith, we usually see him down low. We've seen him get a few rebounds here tonight, but taking that 3 there and bringing Millis back out into the lead, at least for now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're also seeing some good plays from number 2 on Millis, Andrew Brooks. He's been quite good on offense as well, kind of taking in P.J. Adams' spot as the head of the offense, who may not be a big scorer himself, but kind of is really good at assessing everything from a vantage point, as we see him doing that now. Brian Lasatek trying to find his own way in. But Russell dribbling around the back of 2 Millis defenders. Christensen going to put it up for 2 and 1.
I think they might say that he didn't get the shot off in time. It looks like it's going to be a 1 and 1 at the line.
Christensen has been pretty good at the line today with 4 for 6 overall.
And again, compared to that Norton game before, you're seeing a much more calm Ashland team at the foul line. Something I think that Coach Davis worked on with his team in practice over the past week.
That's good on Christensen.
He'll get another opportunity here after that.
And I would say Christensen has very quietly been having himself quite a game here. That's going to be his 11th point of the game. That's top scorer for Ashland by a pretty large margin.
Well, Ashland seems to have been spreading the points out quite a bit over the course of the game, which is what you want to see.
Definitely. Like, we've been talking a lot about Feinberg and DeParrin, but Christensen has just been doing his job on the underside of the net. And here's Feinberg himself looking for Russell, finds Russell into Christensen, and as I say that, Christensen's going to put up another 2. That's 13 points on the night.
It is.
And that's going to put Ashland at a tying 40-40 with Millis as we are about to end this third quarter. See if one team can kind of finish off the momentum.
Remember when I was talking about the last game, about against Bellingham, that doubleheader we had 2 nights ago? Stamina,
definitely.
And we're gonna see if Ashland has that here tonight.
That's going to be a big factor heading into this fourth quarter, I would think, as shot clock running out on Millis' side. So they're forced to take a shot, but it doesn't connect. Ooh, and as I say that, Lasatek going to put in another 3. Let's see if Ashland can answer back here by the end of the third.
Shot clock has been turned off, just so everybody knows, as we are narrowing down on 12 seconds left.
Feinberg going to take it himself and answer back with a 3 of his own. Like we keep saying, this game is just back and forth.
This is a fun one to watch.
You can't pin down anything here.
That was a close 2 there.
Absolutely,
to
for number
end
44.
the quarter.
James Works, first time we've seen him in all night.
With that, we're tied at 43, entering the fourth quarter of play.
And so top scorers for you here, we have Jason Christensen with 13, Dylan Feinberg with 11 now after that 3. We have Kevin Russell with 5, Trevor DeParrin with 4, and Cameron Hardy with 4. But I don't think, or we might see Cameron Hardy a little bit, but as you said, he has 4 fouls on him right now, so he's in foul out territory.
Yeah, and that's something to worry about a little bit if you're Ashland. But at the same time, your bench has been showing you some good looks. So you might be able to survive this game with your bench players, especially with some rotation, as some of these starters might be getting a little weary now.
Absolutely, yeah. And your top scorers for Millis, we have Lasatek with 10. We had Adams, but it looks like Adams is being taken out of the game for the time being. We might see him here in this last quarter of play, but he has 6. We have Zonfelli, who we haven't seen too much of since the first half, with 7. And then bringing up the rear of these Millis scorers is a pretty even distribution between Wong, Smith, and Fallon, as well as Olmsted, who's had quite a good offensive game himself.
Cross-court pass went to Kurt Hopkins. Good look from Millis, and they're going to get the ball underneath.
Yeah, Wong tried for that rebound, but caught an Ashland defender in the wake. And is that Adams back in? Looks like it. So he inbounds it to Wong. Arm's going to take that miss. See what he can do with it. Going to put it up, but not going to find the net.
Good job getting back on defense by Millis.
Definitely.
Preventing that fast break.
You instantly had 2 defenders right on Arms. It was really hard for him to get that break.
Ashland has yet to take the lead for a while, but game has been close, and Millis definitely trying to avoid having Ashland go ahead.
And Fallon going to try to make a lane for himself, but I think Isaiah Davis going to call out that timeout before Fallon has a chance to put up that ball.
No, I think Millis ends up taking it.
Oh, you're right. That was a Millis timeout.
Because I don't think you can do it when they have possession. If you're Ashland, I
didn't
think
know
you
that.
can call the timeout.
That would make sense.
So with that,
could you imagine somebody's about to take like the game-winning 3?
Timeout.
Timeout.
You're gonna feel bad though if that's you and your team, your own guy's about to take the game-winning 3.
Oh, true.
And you call that timeout real quick. In football, you can do that though. Right before a game-winning kick or something, you can call that timeout at the last second.
Yeah. And shot clock at 8 seconds here as we're wrapping up this timeout, which I think is pretty important. We've seen Millis kind of run the shot clock out a little bit here and there, but it seems like it's not really too much of an issue for them, as they're really a team that likes to pass around and look for that right shot rather than getting smothered by the Ashland defense.
So on this night, we were talking about it a little bit before as Millis inbounds it here in this exciting matchup. And it looks like an exciting matchup is happening in New Orleans between the Panthers and Saints as the shot clock runs out, and we'll have Ashland ball.
Lasatek tried to take that deep 3 as the shot clock ran out. It was a pretty good shot, but I don't think he got it off in time. His arm's going to inbound it here.
Well, and that's a really deep 3. It was a very good shot. It was very close. You can't ask for much more than that as Jason Arms gets a 3 of his own.
Those are his first points of the night. Jason Arms putting Ashland in the lead for the first time in a long time. Ashland 46, Millis 43 in these fourth quarters of play. Wong going to answer right back. You can't ask for a better game.
This is going to be an exciting ending, Connor.
I'd say so. Both teams really can't establish a lead. Rabideau here looking for help, finds DePerrin. DePerrin gets it stolen from him by Adams. Wong going to take it himself.
Wong, it's no good. We might have an Ashland foul here, though. I think somebody went over the back of Lasatek. Latasek?
Lasatek, I believe.
I think it's
It is Latasek. I've been saying his name wrong the whole game, but that's okay.
We're saying Lasatek. Sorry, bud.
It's Latosek. I just got the S and the T mixed up.
It's easier to say, though.
It is easier to say.
Lasatek. Yeah, we're going to have an... Oh, wait, no. That's going to be a Millis foul.
And Rabideau.
Lasatek may have gone over the back of Rabideau.
Looks like he did, and Rabideau's going to go to the line for the first time tonight.
It's 1-1, so he's going to hit his first. And,
I would say any point lead is a good point lead at this point.
I would have to agree.
Even if it's 1 point.
Make them respond.
Exactly.
Which both teams have been doing. They've both been responding so far tonight.
in pretty astounding ways, basically like point for point almost.
Oh, I have to admit, good rebound by Christensen and the good defense. He didn't finish the first time. Can he finish here?
Russell outside to DePerrin. DePerrin finds Russell again. Russell for three. Not going to find it, unfortunately. I thought that was good.
Ashland holding on by a thread with a 1-point lead. Adams.
Arms and Adams at it again. We saw a little bit of tension between them earlier.
Oh my gosh, Wong just out of his hands. It goes to Ashland.
Yeah, Arms and Adams. Saw a little bit of tension between them earlier.
Cameron Hardy. Oh my gosh, DePerrin for two. Did you see him just bomb it? He was a wide receiver. Just wanted to let you know, showing off his speed.
Wow.
I completely forgot. Yeah, he was a wide receiver. He knows how to run routes.
We talk about his speed all the time here on the court, but there's no better example of it than right then. As soon as Millis put up those points, Ashland immediately, DePerrin immediately turns around and runs for the hills.
Arms inbounds it to Hardy.
We're seeing Hardy in here for the first time in a while.
They're gonna get Dominic Zinfelli on the foul there. And Millis's game, as good as it's been, it's starting to get a little bit sloppy here.
Yeah, I would say a little bit sloppy from both teams, just considering the stamina. But Ashland just seems to be coming out on top, getting the points where they matter.
Well,
it's one of those
Ashland
games that's really
has 5 fouls to Millis's 9 at this point. So,
and look at this, Ashland has totally caught on to Millis's pass game. They are not having it anymore.
Cameron Hardy just nabbed that out of midair. And I think we're going to have an Ashland timeout here as Coach Davis goes over a little bit of game plan here. We still have 5 minutes left in an exciting quarter of action. You're watching Ashland boys varsity basketball against Millis. I'm Todd Carter.
And I'm Connor Donovan. This has been quite the game so far.
Yeah. Some crew bringing you tonight's game. We have Miles Garnett and Cameron Tabo on camera, and then Mackie Kotab sitting right next to us. Stop giving me that look, Mackie. He's giving me funny looks again.
I would say that Ashland and Millis, this game is a toss-up at this point, I would say.
I would have to agree.
I think it might actually come down to these fouls.
It really might.
As we saw in some of the earlier games, some of the earlier doubleheaders that we commentated earlier in the week, Ashland has been remarkable on the line compared to what we saw Friday versus Bellingham and Tuesday versus Norton. They've certainly been a lot better, and they're making the most of these fouls. Let's see. I think that Millis could probably do the same, which is why I say that this game is you can't really give it to either side at this point.
Yeah, Ashland, well, I was gonna say Tuesday at Norton, that foul line shooting was just abysmal. It improved a little bit against Bellingham, and we're seeing a lot more improvement tonight.
Yeah.
Ashland did not escape Norton with a win. Again, Bellingham was their first home win. And
Feinberg from deep.
Oh, over the back of Christensen, I believe. Adams is going to pick up another foul. And Adams has been so phenomenal tonight. It's only his second foul.
Yeah, he's certainly a player that you don't want to saddle with too many fouls in this game, especially this late in the game. And Christensen's going to put one in. Christensen's been great at the line tonight. He's also had a pretty phenomenal game, the top Ashland scorer thus far.
Again, 5 minutes remaining in this game. Still a lot of time for Millis to come back. And this is an exciting one here, folks.
I agree. It's Ashland in these past couple of drives have really kind of caught on to Millis's hyper aggressive passing game, which has really paid them dividends these last 3 quarters. but it looks like despite that, ooh, that's probably going to be an offensive foul on Harding.
Hardy's going to charge, I believe. What are they calling that? Nope, they're going to call that on number 20, Dominic Zanfelli.
Wow.
And Hardy's going to go to the line for 2. And
I don't know about that call.
I don't know about it, but I think Hardy kind of escaped there.
I was about to say that's a blessing in disguise for Coach Isaiah Davis, because Harding is at 4.
Yeah, that would have been his 5th. He would have been out of the game. But looks like they're going to, I think Zanfelli didn't have his feet set, and that's what they're going to get him on. And that's why they're not going to say that he took the charge.
Oh, a scuffle there. Adams tries to put it up on the rebound, doesn't get it.
And did you see that? I think Adams almost dunked it there. I think he had enough height in his jump there, but we're going to have him go to the line now.
And Adams been perfect on the line thus far with 4 for 4. And this is big for Millis, this foul right here.
That is big, and something to be afraid of here. DeParron with 4 fouls. That's something you worry about if you're Coach Isaiah Davis.
Definitely. Ooh, and he's perfect. He's 6 for 6 on the night. And that's going to put Millis within 1 single throw. Ooh, Christensen and 1.
So Ashland comes back to respond on the other end of the court after it was almost picked off by Millis. I don't know if we spoke about that just a second ago, but if you were watching, Millis almost had that picked off. They tried to get it back inbounds, and DeParron was right there to catch it. Ashland brings it down court, scores 2, and we're gonna see the comeback. We're gonna see Christensen come through on the and 1.
Yeah, I mean, we just keep saying it, but it's so important to stress the fact that Ashland was just a week ago really struggling with these free throws, and now I think it's making the game for him.
And something we haven't been discussing much, but something that's been so clutch here tonight is Christensen down low. He has been dominant on defense down low.
And I believe that was Ryan Daniel, I want to say. Number 00. First points we've seen from him all night. Adams to Wong. Dynamic
Wong
duo
up.
trying to put it up, but doesn't find the net.
Christensen gets it out. I believe that was to Rabideau. Hardy goes down. And Millis gets the ball back out, unable to come away with it. So just a little bit unlucky there for Millis.
Yeah, this is a nail biter if I've ever seen one, Todd. 1 point difference between these two teams as we have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this final quarter of play. And that's going to be a timeout from Ashland.
I was about to say that's a smart timeout if you're Isaiah Davis. Millis seems to have quite a bit of energy on their side, and you want to take that timeout, calm it down.
I think both teams have been really good at that. As soon as one team starts to fire themselves up, they're really good at calling those timeouts, negating that fire, and responding with some of their own.
Yeah. And as much as, you've seen Ashland responding, but I think that's something you have to say that's all you've been seeing is, Millis will make something and Ashland just tries to respond to keep whatever lead they have.
There was a point at the end of the third, the beginning of the fourth, where I would disagree with you and I would say Ashland kind of had a lead of their own, but other than that, you're totally right. It's been a Millis game with Ashland kind of having to do the hard work of coming back.
I might be a little in the moment with that, but I'd say for at least the past 2 to 3 minutes, that's all it's been.
Oh, absolutely.
Millis has a lot of momentum on their side, and they score, and Ashland just manages to respond.
Yeah, mainly respond through these fouls, I would say. Because if Ashland hadn't been so consistent at the line this game, it would be a whole different story. It would be looking like Norton.
I was going to say, that's definitely something we saw in Norton.
Russell to Feinberg. Feinberg in for 2.
How about some points off the bench? I think that's the key to Ashland's game.
Number 35, who we actually don't have on the roster.
I think he's in. This was.
Oh, it is John LeDuc, actually. John LeDuc with a 3 of his own.
Yeah. So literally, just before the game, we have a note saying add Jonathan LeDuc, number 35.
Right.
So
separate from the roster.
He comes in clutch.
Definitely.
And we're going to see
Christensen at the line yet again.
Yeah.
Christensen says, that's okay. You can keep putting me at the line and I'll keep sinking them.
I was going to say.
Christensen is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 for 12 on the night.
That one rolls in
9
and
for
out.
13.
Pass outside.
Oh!
The 3 is good. Millis goes up by 2.
I believe that's going to be Latzatek. And that's a big swing for Millis. Latzatek has been pretty amazing on offense this whole time. Was that going to be a kickball?
I think so. Ashland gets a little lucky with that one.
Oh my gosh, what a back and forth game. And we've just seen such clutch plays with LeDuc. LeDuc, I actually had a 3 down earlier in the game, and I couldn't attribute a number to him, but now that I'm seeing LeDuc on the other side of the roster, I'm sure that was him that put up that other 3 that we saw from Millis pretty early on.
PJ Adams comes out after getting his 4th foul, and that's something to look for as a Millis fan. You got to watch out for that. Still 2.5 minutes in the game. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely.
But Millis up by 2 after an amazing 3-pointer by LeDuc. Jason Arms getting ready to inbound as Ashland runs the stack.
And DeParent's still in, we're seeing. I had thought that they would take DeParent out, but with only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, you gotta double down.
That's Latzatek comes off the court right there towards one of our cameras to be treated. Looks like he might have gotten some wood burn or something on his knee. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Maybe throw a little bandage on there and hopefully come back out quickly.
Arms probably looking for Christensen. Finds Christensen. Christensen going to try to drive here. Looks out to DeParent. DeParent under pressure. Passes out to Rabideau. Not going to find it. Wong gets by Russell. Oh, and that's going to be a deep 3.
Oh, wow.
Rebounded right to Russell, Rabideau, excuse me.
That was a close deep 3, though.
Yeah, that was on Felly, actually.
Rabideau out of his hands. Millis gets the ball. Down low. It's in.
That was a big play. That was a big play from Millis. Tough drop for Rabideau. Just the ball got away from him a little bit, and that's all Millis needed to convert. Now a 4-point lead as we have 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this game.
So I'm a football guy, so I relate a lot of stuff back to football. But have you ever seen those guys who they catch the ball and immediately look upfield?
Yeah.
That's what was happening to Rabideau. He dropped it. He got too ready to look upfield. And looks like Millis is going to come away with the ball here.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be a travel on Feinberg, maybe?
It's hard to tell.
But here we go. Latzatek back in the game.
After getting his knee worked on a little bit. It seemed like it was like his knee thigh area. Oh, in and out.
I swear.
gets a little lucky there.
I was about to say a 3 might spell the end of this game for Ashland,
58
barring a miracle.
seconds.
Feinberg going to take it himself, but not find the net.
And Christensen.
And one. Oh, doesn't look like it, actually.
Ashland timeout right before. Remember what we were talking about before?
Oh, my gosh.
You don't want that timeout there.
That is some rough foreshadowing there.
I think Coach Isaiah Davis saw Jason Christensen come away with the ball and just said,
do it.
As long as we have possession, I'm just going to take the timeout here to ensure that we retain possession. So,
wow, what a game here. 40 seconds left in this timeout. What do you think, Ash? What do you think Davis is saying to his team?
I think he's drawing up 2 plays, hoping that, they have – the one thing they have is time. There's 19 seconds. You can't see the shot clock here, but there's 19 seconds on the shot clock. So they have time to score that first one, and then Millis would need to take a shot within a couple of seconds to actually run out the game clock. Because if Millis gets possession back,
that's another 30 seconds.
They only have like 30 seconds to score.
Yeah.
So if Ashland takes a quick shot and makes it here, Millis has to do something with the ball. And then you hope you get it back.
Arm's going to inbound it. Right to Feinberg. Feinberg's going to put it up for 2. What's Millis' response here? LeDuc.
Outside. PJ Adams holding the ball, but as I said,
timeout.
19 seconds on their shot clock with the 38.8, whatever you want to say.
What a clutch play from Feinberg.
Yeah, you're talking about 40 seconds, though, right now, and 19 seconds where Millis needs to take a shot in that 19 seconds.
Absolutely. This game been on a tightrope for 4 quarters, but now we're seeing the end of it. Less than a minute left in this 4th quarter. Both teams trying to pull something together. I think if Millis scores another 3, it's barring a miracle, it's going to be real hard for Ashland to rebuke that.
I think even scoring a 2 here for Millis, you're putting the game a little out of hand there for Ashland. Ashland would have to score pretty much on a rare 4-point play.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know that would be getting a 3 along with an and 1. You'd have to get fouled as you were taking the 3, and you'd have to drain that 3.
As this timeout is about to expire here, 39 seconds.
Ashland 60, Millis 62. This game brought to you by WACA-TV.
Oh, it looks like Millis is going to get the ball here. Latzatek going to inbound it. Who's he looking for? LeDuc goes out for the pick. Finds Zantelli. Zonfelli, excuse me. Millis passing around the key. Zonfelli going to put it up. Not going to find it, but Millis gets the rebound.
Which means they only have 20 seconds left.
Ashland running this hard press. What's it going to be?
They're going to get a foul here. It's going to be 1 and 1. Oh, they're going to call that a technical on Ashland. That's rough.
That's real rough. That's Latzatek going to drain 1. I don't know if he drains this other one. I don't know what we're looking at here.
Well, here's the thing. They just got a technical. He drains those 2, and they get the ball back.
I don't know. That's a rough look for Ashland here with 17 seconds left.
60-64, and the inbound here.
Ashland fighting desperately to try to get this ball back.
Yeah, well, what they did is they're just trying to foul him. See if they can try and walk away, but you also just fouled P.J. Adams,
It's true.
who's been good at the line. So, barring a miracle, looks like Millis is going to walk away with a close W here. I think what you're going to see, though, I think this score lies a little bit when you see it at the end here. This was a hard-fought match through and through.
True. Definitely.
And that 62-60 score, that's a lot more believable if you watched this game.
Yeah, just an unfortunate technical.
DeParron bringing it up. What's he going to do? He passes it out. The three from Rabideau, no good.
His time's going to expire here. And that's a good game right there. You can't ask for better basketball.
That was fun to watch from a spectator's point of view.
Absolutely.
If you were neutral in this game, that's a fun game to watch. If you're Ashland and Millis, that's a nail biter.
Absolutely.
Through and through, all the way up until the very end.
I think you have both teams have stuff to take away from this game. Let me just rattle some stuff off. For Millis, Adams was 100%. He was 8 for 8 at the line, which is pretty amazing with 10 points. Latsatek, 13 points. He's going to be your leading scorer for Millis. Also, John Ledoux coming in clutch with 2 threes. But on Ashland's side of things, you can't not mention Christensen, with 18 points on the night. Also, Feinberg with 15 points on the night. You had DeParron with 6 points. And just overall, you had a pretty great point spread through both of these teams as you had an aggressive but well-played game of basketball here as we wrap up at the Ashland High School Gymnasium. Anything to say, Todd?
Players of the game. For Millis, I think I have to give it to P.J. Adams.
You think so?
He might not have been the top scorer, but a lot of athletic plays tonight.
100% at the line.
100% at the line. Clutch gene in him.
Definitely.
So, again, P.J. Adams, your player of the game for Millis. And then for Ashland, it's hard to say. Christensen had a good game, but if it's me, I think I have to give it to Feinberg.
You think
Doing so well off the bench. And I think he's trying to prove a little something here. I think he's got a little fire in his belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he wants to be a starter, and we may be seeing that pretty soon if he keeps it up.
Definitely. If he has more games like this, can't go wrong.
With that, I've been Todd Carter.
And I'm Connor Donovan.
We have been bringing you Ashland boys varsity basketball against Millis with a crew that consists of Miles Garnett, Cameron Tabo, and Mackie Kotob. And can we do it
for
Jake?
Absolutely. Let's do it for Jake.
All right. Good night.
And go Clockers.